Rashida Strober is the sole originator of the social media colorism and darkism platform and movement. People all over the world, including YouTube and other social media platforms, have either imitated, copied, or plagiarized Rashida Strober's original work. But Rashida Strober remains the originator of the first social media movement in history to be an activist against colorism and darkism. All others have been inspired to speak as a result of Rashida Strober's original dark-skinned activist work started in 1998.
Hi, so this is Sean here with Miss Rashida Strober, the first dark-skinned activist and creator of the term darkism.
Greetings, everyone. It is Rashida Strober, the world's first dark-skinned activist. For those of you that don't know, I am the creator of dark-skinned activism, which is the first platform to address the systemic discriminations that dark-skinned people face. I am the reason, and I don't say this out of arrogance, I say it because it's the truth, that social media, people on social media, people on TV speak on colorism. I created dark-skinned activism in 1998 as a solution to the problem regarding an understanding of why I was being discriminated against as a dark-skinned female. Out of dark-skinned activism, and this is very important, came darkism. And darkism, and I would like for everybody to understand that this is a word that I coined and created. It's a word that I coined. It's also a book that I wrote that is copywritten material with the United States Copyright Office, Darkism. And I created this term because I needed to operationalize and provide a framework for my dark skin experience. And I've said this before, another reason I had studied extensively the colorism scholarly literature as a graduate student attending the University of South Florida. And the literature, the research did not go far enough to help us in our understanding of what dark-skinned people specifically face. So I, Rashida Strober, created the word darkism and wrote the book Darkism and created the concept darkism to focus exclusively on the discriminations that dark-skinned people face. Another reason that I come to you today and give you these explanations is because there are some people, and I don't understand why the dishonesty, the intellectual dishonesty, I'm not sure, I don't understand that are saying that I did not create darkism, which is, it makes no sense. When you look at the facts, and I'm a fact person, I'm a factual person. I deal with what is factual, what is true, what is ethical, what is moral, because the truth will always stand at the end. I have to clear up the misconceptions as to the fact number one. I created the word darkism to denote the struggles of dark-skinned people. And it came out of my own experience first. And then again, like I said, studying the colorism scholarly literature, I found that it didn't focus specifically on dark skin. And there needed to be some type of concept, some type of movement that focused specifically on dark skin. And I get this question a lot. People will say, well, what's the difference between colorism and darkism? Well, again, the concrete difference after, again, years of study is that colorism, unlike darkism, does not focus on dark skin discrimination. I've written more books on dark skin than anybody in the world. And I can tell you that dark skin, darkism, is a specific discipline in and of itself, which is why I created darkism. Understand, it started with myself and my lived experience. But as a scholar, as a theorist, as a paradigm creator, you begin to understand that once you create paradigms to define your experience, it expands to other people. So I created darkism to shine a light on specifically what the dark-skinned people of the world face. That's the quick answer here. Only got about 5 minutes here. Anyway, you can get the book Darkism. You can go to my website, darkskinactivist.com. You can email me for interviews at darkskinisbeautifulcampaign@gmail.com. I've got $1 million campaign going. I'm asking people to donate to the campaign. All the information is below. You can go to my PayPal and purchase my books, $40 each. You can go to my GoFundMe and make a donation. Most of all, share this information. Spread the word. Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, the creator of the concept of darkism, and the author of the book Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Rashida Strober. It's the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, Rashida Strober, the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the very first platform in history ever to advocate, to speak on as a intentional topic to speak about dark skin. They mocked me, then they copied me. They said, what the hell is a dark-skinned activist? And then they all turned around and did nothing but copied me. So before I even get started, we're going to get one thing straight. I'm the originator and the creator of this entire thing that deals with anything to do with dark skin discrimination, colorism, darkism. I did that. I created that. And I'm not saying that because I'm a narcissist. I'm saying it because it's the truth. I'm only here to speak the truth. I have a campaign going to end darkism. It's also known as the Dark Skin is Beautiful campaign as well. There is a link for those of you, a donation link right there in the description to this live. Go there and donate. Make a donation today to support the campaign. I want to continue the discussion that I was having yesterday. I could not get all of the discussion out because I was on my phone and my phone kept running out of whatever the bandwidth is. I don't know, whatever it's called. It kept running out of it. But I'm going to continue this discussion because I'm the dark-skinned activist and I created this lane and I run this lane because no one cared about the plight of dark-skinned women. People coming out with articles, jumping on bandwagons, riding Rashida the dark-skinned activist coattails, but you're not the dark-skinned activist. You don't really care about dark-skinned people, for that matter. It ain't even about just dark-skinned women. You don't really, what you care about is riding my coattail. And I'm talking to all the females, whoever that's been riding the coattails of the dark-skinned activists. We're going to continue to get that out of the way. And if you got a problem with that, that's your problem. Because I've been a dark-skinned activist since 1998. This is what I do. This is what I'm built for. When you write more books on dark skin than anybody in the world, then come talk to me. When you lay out the foundation, I might respect you. But other than that, you better bow down. You better bow down, period. Now, back to what I'm here for, because this is what I do. You black men, y'all, a lot of y'all deny it. And of course, there's always going to be outliers in regards to what I'm saying does not apply to some of the outliers. What do I mean by outlier? Let me give you an example. Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington. Those two men are outliers. And if you see this content anywhere else, you know they're stealing from the dark-skinned activists. They're stealing from the dark-skinned activists. They've been stealing from the dark-skinned activists for years. But you're not the dark-skinned activists. Let's get that straight. Now back to what I was saying. Outliers. Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson. Examples of outliers. Rich black men with money that's taking care of dark-skinned women. That is not the norm. And for those of you that may not understand what an outlier is a pretty much a statistical term that separates a specific segment that may be a member of a particular group from that group. So you got a group of African-American Black men, but the majority of them are not taking care of dark-skinned women, like, for example, a Denzel Washington or a Samuel L. Jackson. Those men are outliers because it is a deviation from the norm, okay? The majority of dark-skinned women are left to fend for themselves. Now, I know some of y'all will come up and say, well, Rashida, this situation. You know what? I've been hearing that ever since I've been a dark-skinned activist. Like I said, outliers, people that will always come to me and tell me, well, I'm not experiencing the darkism that you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about because I haven't been through it. Well, let me tell you something. I look at the aggregates, and I could tell you right now that dark-skinned women on the whole are not being taken care of by Black men. Why? Because they pick and choose, especially the ones that got a lot of money. And it don't even matter if they got money or not. It doesn't even matter if these are wealthy, middle class. It doesn't matter. These Black men pick and choose who they want to take care of. And it ain't you, dark-skinned women. They're not picking you in the aggregate. They're picking light-skinned women, whether they be light-skinned Black women, whether they be brown or light-skinned white women, because to me, light skin can apply to any race, okay? They're not picking you, dark-skinned women, on the whole. They're not. They're choosing to take their resources, their money, and there's other forms of resources that they're using. In the entertainment industry, they choose to put their resources behind non-Black women. It's not you. It's never you. And if it is you, because inevitably somebody gonna come up on here and be telling me about some dark-skinned chick that this ain't happening to. I at this point, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about one dark-skinned chick who's getting preferential treatment. So what? I don't care about that. So what you want me to say? What you want me to say about that? One dark-skinned chick getting preferential treatment. What do you want me to say about that? You want a cookie? You want to throw a dog a bone? I just don't understand these people that want to sit here and brag, because that's what you're doing. That's what some of you doing. You low-key bragging. You're low-key bragging. Let me get on some of you dark-skinned people, some of you dark-skinned women. And I'm not talking about all of you, but some of y'all be low-key bragging because you in the little privileged position. You in the little outlier privileged position. So you sit there and you low-key brag. You sit there and you low-key brag because you glad it ain't you. You're glad that you're not the dark-skinned woman that's not being chosen. Everybody needs to make a donation to my GoFundMe. I got the link right here in the description to this chat or to this live. For whatever reason, Facebook, I don't know what Facebook problem is, but I'm having issues putting up my fundraiser to raise funds to produce my dark skin play. So go to my GoFundMe. The link is right there. I'm going to even drop it in the comment section and go and make a donation today. Back to these dark skinned women, because that's one thing I noticed. And these are the philosophy. I'm so tired of people stealing from me. People sit up here and watch me and they do nothing but steal. They don't give credit. They don't donate no money. They don't try to help nobody do nothing. All you do is steal and rob from the dark-skinned activists. But these are the true philosophy and opinions. At least I can say this came from my head and my philosophy. I don't sit back and watch other people and copy. I don't have to do that. I'm the originator. I am the originator of this whole entire dark-skinned lane. And don't you ever forget it. Don't one of you watching that ever forget it. If it wasn't for Rashida Strober, nobody wouldn't be talking about it. Nothing to do with dark skin. Some of you dark-skinned women, back on you. And I know this because I've been a dark-skinned activist. You think I just came up on social media doing this? No, boo. I've been doing this in my community all across wherever for years before anybody even thought to talk about dark skin. I have been going around the country and wherever venues I can, giving darkism talks. And as a result, inevitably, I get some dark-skinned woman that comes up to me and tells me she don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Basically, that's what she's saying. She's that one dark-skinned chick that's not being discriminated against by dark-skinned or black, brown-skinned, light-skinned men. She's that one dark-skinned chick. Well, guess what? It's not all about you, because I told you you're an outlier. And like I said, what you're really doing low key, what you're really doing subconsciously is you're bragging. You're bragging. You don't want to be a part of the masses of dark-skinned women that are not being financially supported and taken care of by black men. So you sit there and you brag because you feel like it makes you superior and you feel like it makes you look good. I already know what you're doing. I done studied this darkism thing for long enough. You cannot tell me I am the originator of the entire lane. If you hear this information anywhere else, that all they doing is copying me. I don't respect your work. You're our baby Rashida. You're baby Rashida, because ain't one of you wouldn't have thought about talking about no dark skin if it wasn't for Rashida Strober, period. Period. All facts. All facts. Then you want to sit there and you want somebody to sit there and praise you because you're not a victim of darkism, because you're the chosen dark-skinned chick that's being taken care of by a black man. You want somebody to sit there and praise you. Well, I say shame on you, because what you should be, for whatever y'all can say about me, I'm not really concerned about what people got to say about me, because I got a proven track record of doing this activism, of creating it. Nobody gave this to me. People steal from me on social media. I have a proven track record of creating the first platform to advocate for dark skin offline before online was even thought about. And I have a proven track record of helping black folks in my community. And so with that being said, what you should be concerned about, instead of just only being concerned about yourself, because a lot of you are very selfish, you should be concerned about the aggregate of dark-skinned women who might have some issues finding a suitable mate. See, I've been doing this, again, I got to keep saying, I'm gonna say it till the cows come home. I've been doing this thing in the trenches since social media was even invented. I've been in the community giving darkism talks, speaking on the impact of darkism on dark-skinned people, but dark-skinned women in particular, way before you even thought about it, way before some of you was even born, okay? Way before some of you was even born in terms of having any type of intellectual, political, social worldview, okay? So what you need to do, instead of sitting there bragging and going on about this doesn't happen to you, you're an outlier, because that's what you're saying without some of you not even realizing what you're saying. You need to be concerned about, well, if this isn't happening to me, okay, well, what is the validity behind what the dark-skinned activist is saying? Is this really true that most black men do not take care of dark-skinned chicks? Is this really true what the dark-skinned activist is saying? So that's how I feel about some of the dark-skinned women that run up on me talking about they have a good man and he doing all of that for you. Y'all not even on my radar. That's another thing. I'm not even talking about y'all. Y'all insert yourself. Don't y'all love how people love to insert themselves in a conversation? Because I'm gonna tell you why they're inserting themselves in a conversation like this. Because they know subconsciously it's true. They're all up in their feelings. Number one, they know subconsciously it's true. That's number one. And number two, they want to try to separate themselves from the masses that's going through the problem, so as to say, this is not me. But here's the deal. I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of dark-skinned women are not being taken care of by black men, because black men do not feel that a dark-skinned, especially a dark-skinned woman like me, is worthy, because I'm going to speak out about it. You're not going to sit there and control me. You're not going to sit there and tell me how to think. You're not going to sit there and try to refute what I'm saying when I know I got facts to back up everything I'm saying. You're not going to control what I'm saying, because it's the truth. It is the big elephant in the room. How many times have I sat back in these churches and I watched these black men with their light-skinned, non-dark-skinned wives? How many times have I sat back and watched these prominent Black men of means, with their non-dark-skinned, light-skinned wives? How many times have I sat back and watched ballers? Because in every community, there's some Black men out there that got some money. And even I'm talking about the ones that ain't even got no money. You ain't even gotta have no money. You ain't gotta have a whole lot of money. You could be middle class, you could be upper class, you could be hood, you could be whatever. It doesn't matter. How many times have I sat back as a little girl? Let me even go back to my childhood, since some of y'all want to sit there and discount what I'm saying. How many times have I watched as a little girl? Because I was a very perceptive and observant little girl, quiet and introverted, because that's how they want to push. That's a whole nother topic. And don't be up here stealing from my work. That's a whole nother topic regarding how people like to push dark-skinned people into introversion to keep them quiet. And I was a victim of that. But I never forgot it. I was watching you. I was watching you, Black men in the community. I was watching you, Black men of means, and your light-skinned wives driving around in their Mercedes Benzes, living in their nice houses, wearing their nice clothes. I was watching you, and I was trying to understand why that woman don't look like me. Why that woman ain't dark-skinned with nappy hair. Why would she always have to be light-skinned with good hair and green eyes? This has been going on way before I came on this earth. And to be honest with you, I think after I leave this earth, the dark-skinned activist is making an impact, obviously, because people out here be stealing my work left and right. Anybody that's talking about dark skin, anybody that's talking about colorism, you're stealing from me. You're stealing from me, period. Period. So don't even come up on here with no rationalizations and argument, because I don't want to hear it. If you weren't talking about this before I came on the scene, you're stealing. You've been impacted by the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, period. With that being said, I'm making a bit of an impact, but I'm not so sure that by the time I drop dead and leave this earth, that dark-skinned girls that are being born and that will one day be full-grown women will be taken care of by a Black man, because y'all don't feel we're worthy. That type of worthiness is reserved for light-skinned women. Light-skinned women. Okay, here we go. Connie Coles. Let me see. What are you light-skinned or are you dark-skinned? Because I'm gonna try not to get mad, because I just had a whole conversation about these dark-skinned. That's why I'm asking you about these dark-skinned women that run up on me hollering about they know. Let me just read what you're saying here. And I don't know if you're a dark-skinned female or light-skinned, but let me just read your comment. You said, is this just your opinion? Because I know a lot of Black men that love the hell out of their Black wives. Why? I don't think that you're listening and paying attention to what I'm saying. With all due respect, you're not listening and paying attention to what I'm saying. Let me break down what you just said. You said, is this just your opinion? Number one, it's not my opinion. It's fact, and I can back it up with statistical data. That's number one. Okay, Connie Coles, are you a dark-skinned female? I'll wait, because I want to see the dark-skinned activists. 99.9% of the time, I'm actually correct. This is why people get mad at me, because they have a hard time refuting that. The intellectuals don't get upset, because the intellectuals understands that I'm actually right regarding darkism and colorism, because they've taken the time to do some actual research to see, is Rashida Strober's contentions or platform, is she correct? Connie Coles, are you a dark-skinned female? Are you a dark-skinned female? And I'm watching the comment section because that's what I want to know. Are you a dark-skinned female? Are you a dark-skinned female? And while I'm waiting to see if you're going to answer whether or not you're a dark-skinned female, you didn't answer the question. Connie Coles, are you a dark-skinned female? Because I want the people to see and understand that the contention that I made earlier, when I said that I have these outliers in all the years that I've been doing dark-skinned activism, and I created this entire conversation and platform, that it's the dark-skinned women that always run up on me and holler back, they're not going through this, or they know this person that's not going through this, and blah, 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 blah. That's why I'm asking you, Connie Coles, and I'm waiting, and I don't see that you answered it yet. I'm asking whether or not you're a dark-skinned female. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, because you haven't answered yet, that you are a dark-skinned female. You prove that what I'm saying is true because of your comment. Let me scroll back up. And again, I preface that with saying, if in fact you are a dark-skinned female, Connie Coles, you prove that what I said at the start of this live is true. Going back to what you said, I know a lot of black men that love the hell out of their black wives. There's so, if in fact you are a dark-skinned female, there's so many problems with what you just said, because that's not the issue. First of all, you're talking about their black wives. I'm not talking about black wives. I'm specifically this is the thing. This is the irony of it. Motherfuckers copy me, but they can't even break down or stay on focus that I'm speaking specifically and intentionally about dark skin. People copy me day and night, but they can't even get my philosophy and opinions correct. You can't. This is why we need to read. This is why everybody needs to read Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. You're not going to get it. I can do all the Darkism lectures in the world, but the people that I like to engage with the most are the ones that are well read, particularly in dark-skinned activism, meaning the books written by the world's first and only dark-skinned activists. Have you read Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against? Have you read Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment? Have you read How to Be the Hottest Dark-Skinned Chick on the Planet? Have you read A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge? Have you read my thesis that's available in public at the University of South Florida on the dark-skinned people of Sierra Leone? Have you read? You cannot just come to me and make arguments if you have not been well read in the philosophy and the paradigm of dark-skinned activism. Because if you were well read, you would know I am speaking specifically about dark skin. And then them same people will turn around and copy me. The irony. Those same people will turn around and copy the dark-skinned activists. Them same dark-skinned women who don't even understand the paradigm of dark-skinned activism will turn around and copy me. You didn't even create it. You won't even read about it, but then you add an insult to injury. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I go through. This is what I go through as the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. I'm not talking about black wives, because in order to encompass black wives, we have to encompass brown skin and light skin. I am specifically dark-skinned activism is to eradicate darkism. And darkism is the specific discrimination of dark-skinned people. Read a book. Read the book. Read the book, Darkism. But you know what? Systemic economic darkism and that crab in the barrel syndrome will not allow some of you, because some of you have said, but I'm not going to waste $1 on buying her book. Well, you don't have to. The book is still going to be there. You're not going to stop me from writing. You're not going to stop the intellectual platform that no one cared about regarding dark skin that I created. No one's going to stop that. That's done. That's done. I done did that. Y'all can copy me all you want to. You can not read the books that I've written all you want to and listen to what I'm saying and not supplement that. The platform has already been created. It's already written in history. So you're not going to be able to change that. So if you were intelligent, if you were smart, and if you were thinking, then because I'm going to tell you what I do. I read people whose opinions and philosophies and ideas I oppose. I do that all the time. It's not about me liking. It's about me understanding. And I'm an emotional person, but there's a time and place to pull the emotion out and to get to the logic of what is this? Is it in fact even logical? And in order to do that, you have to be willing to study an opposing point of view. That's intellectual progression that a lot of us for whatever reason. And I think it has a lot to do with being intellectually lazy, because I take offense at the fact that you're not understanding, Connie Coles, that I'm speaking about dark-skinned women. You're still on this Black wives. We're not talking about that. We're specific. Dark-skinned activism, once again, is the first movement platform in history to focus specifically and intentionally on the discriminations that dark-skinned people face, But Black people won't buy the Darkism course because they don't want to see me make no money. Black people won't buy the books in mass because they don't want to see me make no money. But at the end of the day, you, whether I get the money or not, the ideas are there, and the ideas are what's more powerful. So you're not going to be able to stop the ideas. You're not going to be able to stop the ideas. Let me go down here and see if Miss Connie Coles, in fact, ever answered the question. Let me see. I'm looking to see if Miss Connie Coles ever answered the question. I'm looking specifically at your comments, Miss Connie Coles. I asked you if you were a dark-skinned woman, and she's still on other topics. That's another thing. You didn't even answer the question. I'm looking through the comments. You didn't even answer the question. This is the problem. We cannot be afraid to take on an issue head on, opposing sides of the issue. I specifically asked you, Miss Connie Coles, because I wanted to be right and exact. I wanted to make sure that you were a dark-skinned woman, and maybe you don't want to answer the question because you don't want the fact that you're a dark-skinned woman to support the argument that I made when I first began this live, when I stated in the course of my darkism talks that I've been doing way before the internet, everybody copying me and stealing from me, that I've ran into outliers, meaning dark-skinned women who have said to me, like you said, I know people, Black men that love Black women. But you won't answer the question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graciously move on from that because I don't have time for it. If you're going to deal with me head on and direct. Deal with me head on and direct, and deal with me based on the issues. Deal with me based on what is factual, because I ain't never ran from a debate. Everybody that's really watched the Dark Skin Activist, and y'all, a lot of people done copied me because you done watched my interviews, you done went on my website, you done watched my Dark Skin Channel TV, y'all done did all of that. You know that the Dark Skin Activist never, ever, ever runs from a debate. We don't do that over here. There's no need. There's no need. You sitting up here saying all this stuff about you're going to pray for me, but you are eluding the issue. You are eluding the question that I asked you. So here's a note. If you're gonna deal with me, if you're gonna come for me, deal with me direct and head on. Because that's how I deal with people. I deal with people direct and head on. No fake, no filler, no BS. Head on. And I deal with people based upon the issue. I deal with people not based upon necessarily whether I like you or not, because that's not the issue to me. Your likability is not even on my radar. It's what you're saying. It's what you're saying doesn't have any validity to it. Is what you're saying, can you back it up with facts? So I'm going to move on, because this woman is just, I gave you I've been going on about 10 minutes talking about you, Connie Coles, and you still will not respond, and I ain't got time for that. Let me get back on dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned women, what you got to do? You got to save yourself. You can sit here and listen to these women that live in La La Land, because they live in La La Land. They're not being honest. They're being dishonest. And I'm doing dark-skinned girls a service, dark-skinned young ladies a service. Don't steal from my work. I don't mind you regurgitating my work. Shout out to All Things Black, who is this young lady is a PhD student who interviewed me, And she has now switched her dissertation topic from colorism to darkism as a result of our interview. That's the intellectual discourse, the intellectual honest discourse that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people to plagiarize me. I'm not impressed by that. I'm impressed by originality and honesty. So dark-skinned females, what you need to do is you need to save yourself. These black men, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm one of the most pro-blackest females you ever gonna meet. I done spent a lot of my life working for black people, and what do I got in return? What do I get? What do I get in return? I get stolen from, plagiarized. I don't get the financial support that black people are supposed to be given. Black folks, you're supposed to be financially supporting my work. You're supposed to do that. I'm giving to you. There's a legal term. Somebody can put the legal term up there. That means I give something in return for something else. There's a legal term. Somebody dropped that legal term. And that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship between the people that are out here in the black community that's finding solutions to problems to help the black people. You're supposed to give in return. But y'all have a problem doing that. A lot of y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to do that. Dark-skinned women, you got to save yourself. These black men are not going to take care of you. You have got to become educated. You have got to become business savvy. You have got to keep your health going, because if you don't keep your health, you're not going to be able to do nothing. Because at the end of the day, these black men are not going to take care of you. And if there are some out there, and I'm not saying that there are not, again, I preface this live with talking about the outliers. If you go back and watch this live. But what you have to do is be prepared if you don't become one of the privileged dark-skinned women. And I'm saying this from experience. If you don't become, because you can give and you can be loyal and you can be beautiful and you can have a nice body and you can keep your hair done. But at the end of the day, none of that means nothing. That does not guarantee that you are going to be taken care of by a black man. That does not guarantee that you're going to go up the pecking order. It's not going to be you. It's going to be in a black, if they keep it black, it's going to be the light-skinned black woman first. That's a fact. It's going to be the light-skinned black woman first. And that has been going on since the Reconstruction era. And it has continued into this era, where overall, again, I look at the aggregate. I am not talking about outliers. People like Michelle Obama. I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about some of these privileged dark-skinned women that have husbands that are wealthy and powerful. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the aggregate. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, dark-skinned women. Make sure you finish your education. Make sure you get you a trade. Go to college. Okay? Prepare yours. What I am saying to you is because of what I call in my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Where's the book? It's over there somewhere. I call it Systemic Economic Darkism in this book. Because of systemic economic darkism, which encompasses this pecking order where the black man chooses the light-skinned woman first when he starts to gain economically. You're not going to get chosen first. So you have to prepare yourself against systemic economic darkism, because that's what it all boils down to. It all boils down to the coins. Okay, nobody going to sit here and tell me this is about the money. And people are mad because you, even as a dark-skinned woman, they're mad. Let me talk about myself. They're mad that a part of dark-skinned activism is me talking about black women, dark-skinned black women getting money. They'll frame it, because it's coming from a dark-skinned, nappy-headed woman, they'll frame it as materialistic. But if it comes out of the mouth of a light-skinned woman with good hair and green eyes, it's seen as a positive. It's seen as They're worthy of this. It's seen as they're intelligent business women. They're business savvy. But what dark-skinned women have to do is pattern ourselves after Oprah Winfrey. And I talked about Oprah Winfrey, and I'm going to go into a bit of more detail about Oprah Winfrey and what I mean by dark-skinned women patterning ourselves after Oprah Winfrey. For those of you that support my work, I'm putting in my GoFundMe. The link is in the description portion of this live. Now, all you need to do is click on that link and go directly. It'll take you directly to my GoFundMe. Now, I am raising funds. It's $1 million campaign to end darkism. Everyone needs to go to the link and make a donation. I want to say thank you to those of you that have made donations in the past and those that have made current donations. You can also make donations if you want at my PayPal. But I put the link there because I realized that the GoFundMe link is easier to just go there and make your donation or your gift, if that's what you want to call it, at my GoFundMe. The link is right there. So go and make a donation. The funds go towards the continuous production of the creative works on the Dark Skin Activist Tour that revolve around the topic of darkism, aka dark skin discrimination. Go and make a donation. Now, $40 or more will get you a copy of one of my books. It could be Darkism, 25 Ways Dark Skinned People Are Discriminated Against, autographed copy, or Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, where I do talk extensively about Oprah Winfrey's token dark girl status. Or you can get the book, A Dark Skinned Woman's Revenge, which is the play version. Pattern yourself after Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey realized, and this is just my theory, this is my opinion. I've never met Oprah Winfrey a day in my life, but I believe that Oprah Winfrey realized at some point that Black people in general were not going to get her to where she wanted to be. And I've heard people say, oh, she dated white men. You know what? Whatever. That's fine. She could date white men, but that doesn't have anything to do with the basic premise that I have regarding her thought process. And again, I could be wrong, but this is just my belief based on Oprah Winfrey's actions and based on the research that I have done, which is why I told you to get my book, Token Dark Girl, the It Dark Girl of the Moment, where you can read more in detail. But Oprah Winfrey, I believe she realized early on that Black people, although I believe she has a love of Black people, I believe that because of her actions. She realized that Black people were not going to help her get to the level where she wanted to be regarding her talent as a reporter, her talent as a talk show host, her talent as an actress, her talent as a performer. She realized early on that she was not going to get saved by Black people. And that's sad. It's sad to say, but I only deal with facts. Whether they're sad, I'm not here to sit here and make you feel good. That's not my intention. I'm here to give you a dose of reality. Give you a dose of reality. Okay? Oprah Winfrey, I believe that this woman realized early on that if I'm going to make it in the field that I want to make it in, that I have got to make it happen myself. I cannot depend on, unfortunately, any man, any Black man. And I'm not saying necessarily that she thought exactly what I'm saying. I'm simply saying I believe that this was the foundation of her actions. She did not sit there and depend on her Black people. She went out into the larger world and got it and did what she had to do. Okay? It was not the Black community that propelled Oprah Winfrey to the position that she's in today. It was not the Black community. It was not. And y'all can be mad about that all y'all want. Again, I only deal with that because some people will sit here and talk bad negatively about Oprah and say that she does not do enough for the Black community. And I would say to you, I disagree. I think what it was with Oprah Winfrey is that she realized that Black folks was not going to get her to where she had to go, and she needed to go out there and do what she had to do. And then she came back to the Black community, which we have seen countless times. Oprah Winfrey has came back to the Black community and she has given back. So what I am saying to you is that dark-skinned women would do themselves well to pattern themselves after Oprah Winfrey in terms of not being necessarily dependent on Black folks or necessarily dependent on a Black man to get you where you need to be. Okay? To get you where you need to be, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And again, some of you can point out examples, and I could say to you, those are outliers. That's not the reality. That's not the reality. And it's a sad reality that we cannot look in our own community and say, this person is talented in this, or this person has this skill, and therefore we are going to propel and promote this person in whatever field or endeavor that this person, is talented in, but we won't do that. So that is why you see Oprah Winfrey going outside of her community, and that's where she found her success. And then Black people, as a result, they're eating off of that success right now. The school that she built in Africa, that is an example of Black people eating off of the success of Oprah Winfrey, a dark-skinned woman. OWN Network is an example of Black people eating off of Oprah Winfrey's hard work. Because right now we have shows on there like David Makes Men that has a dark-skinned lead character. Black people on there getting work. We have other shows on there like Ready to Love. We have Tyler Perry and Will Packer able to eat off Oprah Winfrey's table. A dark-skinned woman, that the same dark-skinned woman that gets shunned in the community. Now you eating off her table. See how it works, dark-skinned women? But you can't never be propelled and pushed. Another outlier I could give is Diana Ross. I could truly say that she was an outlier that was actually promoted, and that's how it should be. Berry Gordy promoted and pushed the dark-skinned Diana Ross, but that's an outlier. That is an outlier, and I don't think that that's going to happen again for a very long time. Okay, on the level that it happened on. So I said, every once in a while, we do get examples where somebody will break the mold, but those again are the tokens. Those are the tokens, hence the book Token Dark Girl. So dark-skinned women, what you have to do is you got to save yourself. You have got to save yourself. You cannot be around here taking care of these men, because a lot of them want you to take care of them. That's what they see you as. They see you as being on the come up when they need to come up. When they're at the bottom and they're trying to come up, they'll fool you. They'll pretend that they love you. They'll talk nice to you to keep you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep you to keep working and paying them bills and taking care of them. They'll feed into your self-esteem, make you feel loved, make you feel beautiful, make you feel wanted, to keep you supporting them. This is what they do. This is what they do. Y'all could be upset. I'm just simply here to tell the truth. Once again, go to my GoFundMe and make a donation. I am raising funds for the Dark Skin Activist Tour that features my creative works. So go and make a donation. I just put the link there. The link is also in the description to this live. $40 or more will get you a copy of one of my books, autographed copy of one of my books, either Darkism, Token Dark Girl, or A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. Unfortunately, a lot of times these men will prey on the self-esteem of dark-skinned females because they know that the dark-skinned ones are not the chosen ones in America. We're not the chosen ones. They know that the lighter skin a woman is. We all know this intrinsically. And I believe that we start to learn this as early as elementary school, when the little boys start to give preferential treatment to the light-skinned girls, to the mixed race girls. I've seen it a million times, more times than I can count. Y'all can deny it. It's okay. It's all good. They'll prey on your self-esteem. And as a result, they're able to capitalize and benefit off of the darkism that you face as a dark-skinned woman. They know the magic words to come in and say to you to get what they want out of you. They know how to make you feel good to get what they want out of you because they know that you're the lowest on the totem pole. They know that you're looking for validation. They know that you're looking for love. And they know that some of you would do anything to get that love, to get that validation. So you become their little dark-skinned golden goose until they come up and they got the money to get them a light-skinned chick, a white chick, a mixed race chick, a chick from a Dominican chick, an Indian chick, anything but what's dark skin and nappy hair. They'll use you as a come up. They'll use you as a come up. Okay, they will use you as a come up. I'm telling you what I know. These are all facts. Y'all could be mad. Y'all could. Some people they be so mad. They be so upset. I don't care. I don't care if you're upset. I'm telling the truth. They've been using dark-skinned women for a come up for years. Got you out there working and slaving. Got you out there being fast food managers. Got you out there being fast food workers. Got you out there working in nursing. Got you out. Some of you out there be doing hard manual labor. Some of you out there in the corporate world. You got your little degree. But you're still being used. It doesn't matter because you're the last on the totem pole. And they prey on that for their own come up. Thank you, Marvin. You said, okay, your daughter is 12 years old. Okay. Which book is more appropriate? Honestly, I do not write for anyone below 15, to be honest with you. Now, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated. And I have spoken in schools giving Darkism lectures and performances of my play. But it started at in the 10th grade. I'd have to say, of all the books, if I had to choose one, which I really don't think that it's necessarily appropriate for a 12-year-old. But if I had to choose one, I would say maybe Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And the reason is because I have concrete examples of darkism. And it will help a person's understanding of the philosophy of what dark-skinned activism is and what it's all about. So if I had to absolutely choose one, I would say Darkism. Also, Token Dark Girl is actually really appropriate, but Token Dark Girl is like my angry dark-skinned activist manifesto in the beginning of it, because I'm talking about the irony of me being the token dark girl of dark-skinned activism, and then people turn around and ripping off my work. But then the irony of that is, do I want to be the token dark girl of dark-skinned activism, or do I want to get this work out to? See, I grapple with my own contradictions as well. I can fully admit that. But Token Dark Girl and Darkism would probably be the ones most appropriate if I had to choose a book. Well, that's Jane Poe. You said, why not appropriate for a 12-year-old? Because generally, just so you understand, generally I write my plays and my books for an older audience. It's for adults. But when I started performing my play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, I was invited to high schools to perform, and the youngest age category that I did was 10th graders, consisting of 15 and 16-year-olds and up. And so that's why I'm saying I know it's appropriate for that age level, because I've actually performed my plays. Now, sometimes when I do my Darkism talks, I will design it to where it's appropriate according to age category. So it just depends, but I write for mature audiences. That's just how I've done it from the very beginning. I've never set out with the intention of necessarily writing for a children's audience. Not saying that I won't do that, but that's not the intention that I started out with. And again, some of in Darkism, there's a little bit of cursing in here, not too much cursing, but some of the stuff I'm raw, I'm honest, and I'm real, and I'm raw. So for example, let me see if I can find something in here that may be a bit controversial here. Okay, so chapter 4 is entitled, let me just give you an example and you be the judge. Parental guidance suggested. Who does this dark-skinned bitch think she is? That is chapter 4 in my book, Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And again, if you go to my GoFundMe and you give $40 or more, I will send you a copy of either Darkism. The books are $40 each. So you can get either Darkism, Token Dark Girl, or A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. So chapter 4, who does this dark-skinned bitch think she is? So I'm cursing, bitch. I don't want to necessarily expose 12-year-olds to cursing, but parental guidance is suggested. Anyway, the chapter reads, I was subbing in a high school class of 10th graders. The course was science. I can't remember which type of science. The regular teacher was there that day, but for whatever reason, she had to have another teacher in the room, so I obliged her. My hair was in a huge, beautiful black afro, looking like Stephanie Green, one of the unsung heroes of the Black Panther Party. I was dark-skinned, elegant, and studious as usual. I took my seat at a table in the back of the classroom and settled in. The class was majority black. The teacher was a brown-skinned black woman with permed straight hair. She was the acceptable-looking black woman. She seemed pleasant enough, though. This is why I was surprised when she joined the students in laughter at a dark-skinned, nappy-haired, ugly joke that one of the dark-skinned boys suddenly launched at me. The dark-skinned attack was sudden and swift. It took me off guard as the entire class erupted into boisterous laughter. Of course, I kept it professional and just observed their buffoonery. In so many situations like this where I was attacked by being called black and ugly, I have continuously kept it professional. For many dark-skinned people, keeping it professional has become an art form when they are viciously attacked due to their skin tone. However, I was immensely pissed. What a stupid woman, I thought to myself. I mean, seriously, a grown, educated black woman laughing at another black woman being called black and ugly and nappy-headed by a dark-skinned student? I'm going to stop right there, because people love to steal my work. People love to steal my work. People love to steal my work now. I'm telling you what these people do. This is copywritten material with the United States Copyright Office. And if you're taking quotations from my work, have the decency. There's an ISBN number on the back. Have the decency to quote the author. Okay. That being said, y'all, you know, people want to come for me. Oh, you're loud, you're this, you're that. Well, you're not the one that created this platform. You're not the one that wrote these books that came from your head, your transparency, your experiences, and then people turn around and steal from. I'm very, very emotional and sensitive and pissed about people stealing from me, mocking me, and then turn around and copy me. You're not the dark-skinned activist. But with that being said, and I do have to go into digressions like that every once in a while because I'm triggered. This is what the content, I read that portion of this book to show you what the content is like. In this book, it is real, it is transparent, it is me giving my darkism experiences. Okay, so if you deem that this book is appropriate for whoever you want to buy it for, then by all means I will support you buying it. But the thing is, this is original. You're not gonna get this nowhere else. And if you see it somewhere else, it's because somebody done read Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. But that's what the content consists of. Me telling real true stories of what I have gone through in terms of darkism, and giving commentary about those darkism experiences. So there you have it. The books are $40 each. I send you an autographed copy. So I have come to the conclusion, like I said, dark-skinned women, you got to fend for yourself. You have to be in it for yourself. And I am one of the most unselfish people that you ever want to meet. But I have been forced to fend for myself. I have been forced to look out for Rashida Strober, because who the hell is looking out? Let's take a darkism example here. A perfect darkism example. B. Smith. I don't know if y'all know who B. Smith is, but B. Smith is the beautiful dark-skinned restaurant entrepreneur. She was also a former model and just an entrepreneur in general. Okay. B. Smith amassed millions of dollars using her own talent and her own brains. She married a dark-skinned man. She has came down with Alzheimer's disease. And what did this dark-skinned man do to her? He began dating one of the caregivers, a white woman. That is an example of darkism. And that shows me that as a dark-skinned woman, you have to fend for yourself. Now, dark-skinned women, with everything that I just said, I'm the first one, even with me talking about y'all stealing from me and ripping off y'all work, I'm the first one to still wish and hope and pray that every single dark-skinned woman is able to find a black man, preferably, that loves, respects, and admires and takes care of them, with that being said. But always prepare for the worst. Always prepare for the worst. And that's it, y'all. That's pretty much what I have to say today. If you want to go back and watch this from the beginning, because I know some of y'all just tuned in, but that's pretty much what I had to say. It is the world's first and only dark-skinned activist that everybody done copied and plagiarized and stole from. Rashida Strober, the first and only dark-skinned activist, the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the first platform in history for dark skin. The first platform when nobody gave a damn about dark skin. I was in the trenches back in 98 when nobody cared about colorism. I'm the first person in history to create a platform to eradicate what I call darkism. Make sure you go to my GoFundMe and make a donation today. And I am putting the link once again in the description box. And I am out. Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist.